Well, hello. Well, I see that you're still here. Don't you ever get lonely from spying on us from over there. Well, you see a lot of teardrops from the corners of a children's eyes, and I don't think that's a wise way in a God's trusted, loving world. What do you think? Yeah. Well, I found all the cash over here. It's like $9, you know. To tell you the truth, that $9 just may as well just go right in the trash over there with the rest of the stuff be thrown out, because $9 is not really worth $9 at all. Practically nothing. But there's a thing that holds it together magically, and that's value. The trust in the dollar is the trust in America, our country. The land right now that's being divided, and Obama's big number one mama for the Muslims. And he's doing a very good job of it. You know, the government officials are probably so buried deep in evil things of their own little twisting whatevers, you know, and he's called them out on it. You know he has. And they don't dare say anything, probably threaten them, their lives and their families and stuff, you know. Nobody really gives too much a shit about me anymore, so, you know, that stuff doesn't even really matter. Everything comes to mind. I mean, what's the point of it? You know, there's a care and a loving, but you know, things in life go on. You know, they can't always be the same. Can't be unchanged. But it's the newer lives that's coming on that are being changed and arranged, that you know, the younger class, never having lived through and seen the history of this, they don't know about it. And this thing, like, we're being if back in your history books, if you look at it, that we're being attacked. We're under attack. Remember, like, the forts that when we came over they set up, and then they advanced. Well, Muslims, the musloids, they're followers of any Islamic made up bullshit dream. And Allah thing, that is such a joke. I mean, if you think about it, poor misled, understood, you know, nothing. We live in fear, you know, because if we just go this much over this way, it would chop your hand off, you know, and just keep going right on up, into your family. They shake it, they fear. Oh, they would shiver any sailor's timbers in the night. I don't shiver any timber for no Muslim ever. And so, it's just such a picture. It's just such a view that I have. It's a view of a dream that I have, you know? Boy, just to make you understand that it's a view of seeing into a world, a dream. And it's a dream, and you know, they come true. They do. In so, however so surmountable way. But I've sent these from my beginnings on my vids clear out beyond, and everything comes back, and it'll be billions, trillions fold. So I think the earth is just better, and it's being better. Hang on. Yeah, I remember that saying very well. So you see, they're putting up forts in America, and they call them mausoleums. You know, it's a temple, which is a part and a branch of the temple thing over in Islamic land, you know? Yeah. Right there where Muhammad had killed a bunch of people in Mecca, and they took over the place. And then he died shortly after. So where did all this stuff and all these rules and ways it's written in the now language and everything, you know, and an understanding? Boy, you talk about a business shoving under their feet welcome mat doors, and they don't even know it. Well, people, you know, we have to have a showing, and we need to say something about this. It's like making a stand like in your history books. That's what this all comes to. We have to get out there and make a stand. It's not, you know, a cop. I don't know about his history. Has he had does he shoot a lot of people? You know? Well, I think it needs to be better looked into, and they got videos all over the place. And why are we not seeing those things now? They've got their court and their jury and stuff. Why can't we see that information? And we'll know ourselves. You know, we can decide for ourselves. We don't need your special little, you know, cubbyhole lawyerings with your judges. They're just conquered and made up of more bullshit to keep everybody totally fricked up, you know? We don't need that. Show the vids. You know, that's less government. We don't need these judges. We need a court appointed too, and the people will look and they will see in justice and true and being, and with all truth of the matter coming out and seeing into it and understanding it, you know, with the love that we have and compassion and forbearance. It's very important. And we could see these things and say these things, and it would be everyone, and it would be like that sentence without even saying anything. It's just a thought. And you imagine the torture that person would live in for the rest of their days. They would be wanting death, you know. It's like in parts in the Bible that they'd be looking for death, but there's no place to find it, you know. And if you take your own life, well, gee, that is even worse. So it's certainly not better. Wow. Just don't understand. There's stuff's not getting passed around. Haven't asked for money. You know, credit card numbers. That stuff is just free, and it's just, God, you just have to let it be. You know, we need to let it be. And there's songs about that stuff, you know. I was playing on my guitar here earlier, and when I get back in the tune, I keep knocking it out. Then take a few strokes. I don't have my pick with me, so I'm kind of using my finger. Not a very natural way, you know. Would have been a long time, you know. Catching that finger on there, and I'm gonna the quick says that's enough of that BS. Go get a pick. I'm out of here. Well, the things we could do, you know, if people just paid attention. Wow. But we're all engrossed in the gross of the coming gross that keeps getting more gross until when it all falls in, all comes down. And if you be thinking about, you know, good things, good thoughts, holy thoughts, what can you think of as holy? And then see yourself acting that holy. And someone like Muhammad that was just mass murder, slaughter, swords, you know, riding in there and just, you know, displaying You know, like gangsters nowadays in the hoods, you know, these little gangs around, they do their stuff, tagging this and that, you know, that they're bad and all that kind of crap, and message each other, you know. That's another form of infiltration also, isn't it? Wow. And, you know, what is really being done? Not a thing. Nothing. Just all bullshit, you know. We have to realize, like in the beginning, these dollars, they, you know, it means something behind them, and we have to present that, and we can't be weak. Not at the fear of this dollar, because that's not worth anything inside of me. You know, those dollars just get things from the material outside of me. It has nothing to do with inside of me. And I want to sell this inside part of me, which billions of people have done just because of that dollar. You know, running governments. Oh, that's such a shame. Knowing that reality soon coming, God smack, you know. Whew. All those people, no wonder there's some billionaires now trying to put into giving up and putting their money back in, and they don't care about the interest. They've got so many billions and billions, and they're going to be way dead before those billions ever get spent. And they give those things out to people so they can sort of enjoy life, but let's do it on like a holy style, holy man, holy woman acting, and we build on to each other. And you imagine what a crystal that would be, the knighthood that would be, that would be surrounding the whole entire world. With feelings with people like that, all gathered in the same kind of, what can we say, altar, you know, some special place where we are, when it's quiet and peace. And when we go out, you know, we just speak and forget that bullshit. That bullshit walks. Doesn't do a thing but add to confusion. There to be truth about what? Because wow, it's like that picture that I see in a dream. And I can see so much. I can see it and be a part of it, and I want that because nobody get hurt, nobody got denied, nobody got lied to, nobody got divorced, nobody got raped, nobody got killed. There was nothing that was going on that would harm any animals, and including the human beings. Yeah, that's what it's there, you know, and that kind of a place can really be. But with these creatures running the government, they got this dollar over here. You know, you're giving pieces of that inside out for those dollars, and that's what keeps their machine rolling. Yeah, it's time to put on some binders, throw in the monkey wrench, time for this shit to stop. Not just like with hammering one country and punishing one country, you know, and make them just lose their ass and whatever, this, that, and the other. Then they get taken over, controlled by this other, more controlling atmosphere from the mothership, you know, and moves in and starts doing bullshit. Well, that's what's going on in the United States right now. And unless we do something, if we can do something in true heart, is there any true heart? Any true people? Is there any love out there in Christ that believes in Christ? And don't you even know what he did? Oh yeah, we heard the story, what he did, sorta. But you know, this pure soul, and it has to be pure soul, pure as he could be. His mother, her feet never touched the ground until she was after 3 years old. And they still have women like this today. Their children, of course, when they're picked out. in hopes that we want this, if this is the way to come, if this is the line, this is a shadow of goodness, we'll take it. And there's, there could be so much fill-in with the history and whatnot and all of this stuff in this picture, but it's not really necessary, because it's Christ. And, you don't worry about how long it is, because you just can't stop it. Oh, they try. They try hard, especially under the dome of the smart meters. And they start the meters, and there you go. He could do things, but it wasn't like, produced on TV now with the magic and the flight of hands, And this pure soul, he gave himself all that he had. And I say that's the greatest gift that man can ever give. It's his life for others. And being at that time, they were held by governmental people, held down like Islam does the Muslim, like whatever, does them right now today, and keeping them under bread and in their chains. The same kind of a thing going on. And Christ came in, and when he gave this of himself, the key there of that love, his blood, like into the lock, and formed that holy key, and unlocked the doors to heaven. And the doors opened up, but everybody was so down because that's the way Islam had them and was holding them still under their control, holding them down. They don't want them to see the true light of heaven, because if you dare look up for a moment, and you hear the words of the Bible, the Holy Bible, the true words, they've been tampered with, sure, but there's truth in there still. And it's just a spirit that you get filled with when you believe and you understand, because you hear and you know that is the truth. I don't lie. I'm just not into it. I think that's a beautiful thing. And these pictures hit you, and it expands out, and it's like future. Future. And I didn't shirk or jerk like, what do this and that. It's surprising, and it's because it is surprising. That's the next thing we take in for knowledge. It's too bad there's just not many listening in. So I'm going to say a few things to catch up on here. Sayonara, adios, and on them on, or what? Peace out.